Hey folks, and welcome to more MLB The Show franchise here on MLB The Show 25, and we're starting with some bad news. Our boy DJ Park, he just came back from injury. He has pitched 2 games, 10 2/3 innings, and has been incredible. And you see that shoulder inflammation he has, as we always say. If you have any shoulder or arm-related short injuries, we always spin to see if you get Tom. And yep, again, he just came back this July, played 2 games. Now he was going to go under the knife again. DJ Park, again, and this is the thing I like 59 durability. I like about this new wrinkle I've added to the franchise. You never know. Like, DJ Park might not ever be that guy because he now just has 2 shoulder injuries or arm injuries. He throws 122, going under the knife again. So we're starting the today's note off a little bit somber. DJ Park to the IL with some elbow stuff. All right, so we'll see you when we get into gameplay, I guess. Also, I will say just off the cuff, I did go in and edit some ratings to guys around the league who I just think were a little low rated when the game started out. Guys like Jack Caglione, Nick Kurtz, guys in real life who are close and or in the major league level, but in the game were a little low rated, and then by the time their teams went to free agency or drafted, they've kind of fallen to the wayside. I didn't bunch them up too incredibly, but usually 3 points here, 3 points there. Just trying to help them out a little bit. Just want to be transparent about that. Also, we did, for whatever reason, my settings got re-switched, so a lot of like the 40-man, the roster moves have been all changed. Like, it messed up my roster a whole bunch when I jumped into the game. I don't remember changing that. So there are a couple guys that are now on the 40-man a little bit earlier than I wanted to, or vice versa. I don't know. Is what it is. The game just changed. I know there was an update overnight, or probably a couple times since I've actually sat down and played the game. It's been a little bit since I actually sat down and played the game. So if you see a guy on the 40-man that I didn't want him there, but just the being transparent. DJ Park going under with some injury. So after that depressing news, let's start off this month as we have a moment. First, the San Francisco Giants, as I guess SF on my notes blew my mind. A 1-run lead, Felix Bautista in to close, and for the most part this year, that's been an automatic W. Starting off with a strikeout. That splitter to Nasty Wong is going to get down there and block it. We get a strikeout on Seiya Suzuki. And then what happens here, 3-2 count. Jung-Hoo Lee is going to drive this one to left field. Dive by Duran, that gets by. The grandson of the wind can run. If that's your nickname, you better be fast. He is all the way to third base. Slide in. And now all of a sudden we go from a strike away from ending this game to now a base hit away from being tied. And then Willy Adames off the end of the bat, but hangs up just long enough for Jarren Duran to go out and get there. And he will go lock it down. And look, Felix Bautista has been so good. We saw what happened with a guy like Evan Phillips. Signed him for a little bit cheaper. End up having a really, really, really good year and kind of priced us out to where we were willing to go. So we started conversations with Felix Bautista in terms of coming back potentially and being a member of this team for the long haul. And we'll share how those developments go throughout the season. Christian Campbell does get struck out by Ryan Walker, leaves up Marcelo Meyer to ground over to first base, and now the Giants are a base hit away from winning this ballgame. I believe Christian Walker, the new first baseman for the San Francisco Giants. You know how well he did against us in the Rockies series. And we will bring in Felix Bautista, and we will finish off this game 31 for 34, 2.12 ERA. Lefties have gotten to him a little bit, but locked down against right-handed pitching. Just with that velocity from that side of the plate, I wouldn't be able to hit it either. Elliot Ramos, see you fucking later. Strikeout right there. And Bautista continues to be an absolute demon. 8 pitches, though. He's tired out because he played last night and coming back in a day game. We'll get the strikeout there. Look at this pitch. Like, you just can't hit it. You just can't. Impossible for you to. And then Ryan O'Hearn gives him a pitch 2 hit. Devers knocks it down. Has to be quick and finally flips it on. A lot of mass over there in this picture between O'Hearn, Devers, and Bautista. But we are able to get the job done, and we live to see another inning. Top of the 12th now. Okay, top of the 12th. 3-2 count. Wong fists it to right field. I don't believe this is far enough to tag up. They will try. And we gave it a chance. We gave it the old college try. Can we survive another inning? Seiya Suzuki, the beautiful throw from right field. And we are gunned out at the plate. And A.J. Puck on the ground. Campbell the dive. A lot of speed. Anthony can't play it. No use. We lose. Tough way to lose from the thrown out at the plate on the shallow fly ball into the ground ball through the middle. That barely gets out. Yeah. Tough. Tough. So we split these two moments against the Giants. We do have this moment against the Brewers, however, which we should go out there and hopefully win, because we need a win for sure. That's what I'm saying. And what's the situation? Bases loaded, down by 2. Lefty on the bump for Alex Bregman, who's already 1 for 3. Smokes it to the right field. 1 comes across the score. We will keep it at that. Keep the bases loaded. Again, 1 run does score. However, Alex Bregman coming through. Rafael Devers left the bases loaded for you, good sir. You see that sinker? Just missed it. 0-2 count. Curveball. Just missed it. Oh my goodness, he just missed it. Fly out or pop out to second base, I guess. And that is all she wrote. That is, You'll return to simulating, and that will be it for us. That's it. That's all we needed. That was the only moment that showed up. We end up, I think, giving up a couple more runs here later in the game. And we lose this one, I believe, 6-2, 6-1 it comes out to be. 5-1. So, yeah, we lose that one, and they lead the series. We then pick things up against the Angels later on in the month. And you see the offense, we don't run very much. Really middle of the road and a decent pitching staff so far. As it is 6-5. Zach and Neto 1 for 3. Gets by Devers at first base. Anthony up and throwing, but the throw is well up the first base line. And it is a tie ball game. Whitlock was tired. We're thinking about moving, but we didn't really have Felix Bautista available for this one, or Bautista had already come out of the game. I wasn't quite sure. I don't quite remember. But then another Gene Gregg, another hit up the middle for him, and you have 2 on in the 9th. Whitlock, it just really wasn't his moment, but we had to kind of trust on him, lean on him, and our all-star from last year doesn't close the game down, but gets the job done enough where we can go out and win this one in extras potentially, or in the bottom of the 9th inning. In bottom 9, Rodolfo Castro up with the lefty, and he goes up the middle, just doing what he does, which is smash lefties. Good job by Rodolfo Castro. We pick things up later on in the inning. Christian Campbell is going to get plunked. All right. So Victor Gonzalez, not the best pitcher in the world, and have him back against the ropes. Carlos Narvaez, can you be the hero? Oh, hit it up the middle, which seems like Narvaez, we just hit the ball up the middle every single time with him. I don't know what that's all about. But Gonzalez is there to make the play, and it is 6-6 here. Castro, I thought he caught this in the air, so I ran back to third base. Apparently it bounced, and I did look back on the replay. It did bounce. I just wasn't paying attention enough, and then they dropped the bunt. Hoppy is going to be not safe, but they do score the run, which sucks. So now we have to go out there and bring in the run. Nolan Schanuel a double, and that's basically all my will to live. And trust me, this month ends up not being very good for us. So I'm seeing us lose these games, and I see us lose these games, and it's a defeating feeling. We pick things up in the 10th. Ben Joyce just rockets one by me. And here we are. Losing to the Angels, a team that I don't believe is very good this year in this iteration of the game. And yeah, that's going to do. Jose Soriano got the start and pitches well. 8-6. Series tied 1-1. And unfortunately, we did lose that one. We will pick things up in a game against Chicago, as we have two games up here, one against Chicago, one against Philadelphia after this one. Couple moves. Ashton Fuqua, before the game, was called up to help with our offensive struggles and play catcher for us for the remainder of the year against right-handed pitching. Wong will still bat against lefties, but we did call up catching prospect Ashton Fuqua. He will be our everyday starter next year. That has already kind of been set in stone. So trying to save our season here, as we've been losing a lot here against former friend Cutter Crawford, who's been nothing but basically turn into Greg Maddux since he's left us. Another deal thing to mention, we were talking with Felix Bautista. 1 year, $10.4 million for next year. We've agreed to an extension, so a couple of Red Sox news here in this one that we didn't show on screen, but I am conveying to you at home or on the road or at work, wherever you're watching. Fun fact, let me know where you're watching this video from, whether at home, work, on the road, whatever. And also, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Pete Crow Armstrong is going to single into left center field to get the day started for the Cubs offensively. That brings up Dansby Swanson to .210 batting average this year, not having a good year. Bregman does go to second base. They do end up getting the runner at first base. They really did push it, especially with the speed of Crow Armstrong. And then Jonathan India adds his name to the list of jobbers to hit home runs off Garrett Crochet. Okay, it was, what was his face? David Fletcher, this time last year in Universe, in the, we did the Field of Dreams game, which I thought was very fun. He ended up hitting like 2 home runs against Crochet, or at least one. And now it's Jonathan India adding himself to that list. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. should have had a home run there, but ends up flying out. So Don Rafaela is there to make the catch, but all right, so already a 2-0 lead for the Cubbies as we try to go against the next iteration of Roger Clemens in Cutter Crawford. So here's Ashton Fuqua in his first action, his first at-bat. It will be a strikeout as Cutter Crawford gets him swinging. But yeah, Cutter Crawford, good job from him. Yeah, all right, I guess so. Striking out Fuqua to end the inning. In the bottom of the third inning, Owen Casey is going to sky one to left field. Duran is going back towards the ivy, and that hits right off the home run kind of net on the underside of it. So kept it out. The basket they have out there around the perimeter of the outfield. So not a home run, but does get a double. Then Pete Crow Armstrong again. Less upset with Pete Crow Armstrong doing good against us. Way more upset with like Jonathan India. Shout out the Florida Gators. And that's a triple for PCA. RBI triple, in fact. Not as good in universe as in this game as he is in real life. Michael Dansby Swanson comes through this time. But he is, Pete Crow Armstrong, still pretty freaking good. That is true. Jonathan India is going to take the strike as PCA takes second base. Another stolen base there. I'm also watching Sunday baseball in the morning, and a bunch of mascots almost just attacked this reporter, I guess. Into the outfield, Garrett Crochet just getting hit around. He's only gotten 3+ innings, already 5 earned runs, and Jonathan India 27 doubles on his season. Does finally get out of it, but Garrett Crochet not looking like Garrett Crochet. Crow Armstrong, Dansby Swanson, Jonathan India all getting to him. It's been sad to see. Cutter Crawford finally gets tagged by a former teammate as it is Jaron Duran gets on base with a single. He's going to leave first base, head to second base, and he is in there with a steal. So again, singles and doubles, the name of Jaron Duran's game. 21 stolen bases for him. Roman Anthony with a runner on third, 2 down, pops up late on the 93 fastball high, and that will do it. Clark just absolutely showing up on our grave. This motherfucker is upsetting me. Ashton Fuqua, hey kid, welcome to the bigs. The first career hit from our catching prospect, Ashton Fuqua, top 10 catching prospect in all the game. Finally making his major league debut. Only because we have the other ones. He's wearing 17. He does usually wear 12, so we will be switching that next year once Connor Wong off our roster. Him and Jaron Duran not being here are pretty foregone conclusions already. And then they've been too good to kind of trade and get something for, so is what it is. But Fuqua has been awesome for us in the minor leagues with that profile. I do think this team needs a bat like that. Marcelo Meyer robbed of extra bases there. And all right, there goes the inning. We do pick up a hit, though. Couple hits. Okay. Despite the struggles, Crochet's still out there because no one's done anything against him. And it's like, all right, if you can just give us innings, and the game's not going to get any worse, might as well, right? And it's getting a little worse. Anthony comes up throwing. The throw is well more in line, but this time no go. Not too much speed on third base. Matt Shaw, double play. Double play. Devers goes home with it. Fuqua back to Devers. And that will do. Again, Devers playing first base for us. Tristan Casas hurt for a bit. So Devers coming in and being a real team player, helping us out at first base. We did make that transition to him in the offseason. To kind of help cheese it and have Bregman re-sign with us. And then also Devers probably more of a first baseman if you were ever to see the field. This is where I knew the game was over, when Devers hit this ball that hard, and then it just went 43 degrees in the air and it was an out. And then if you had any hope or feel, or all right, this game's actually not over, then this made me think the game was over, where Norman Anthony hit it harder and better, but to pre-Crow Armstrong, and that's when I was like, all right, let's just, all right, that's it, game over. And then Jordan Walker comes up 0 for 2 on the day, and then just down to third base, and yeah, clean 7th. Cutter Crawford was gnarly in this one. Only 2 hits. I believe he doesn't come back out here, as it's Phil Bickford on the bump for the Cubbies. And then Marcelo Meyer robbed of extra bases last time. We'll hit all 4 of them this time, as that is a home run. Marcelo Meyer rounds the bases. Again, he just has that swing where he can just kind of stay in the zone, and he hits balls like this hard consistently. And I'm glad we're a better team for it. We're going to put this one on ice as Roman Anthony grounds to shortstop. They go to second base with it. And this game I wanted to evict from my memory. Just any of the corridors of my mind and my hippocampus that have stored this ball game in, I want them evacuated basically instantly if we can. We lose 5-1 to the Cubs, but we move on to another National League opponent on the road still, as we are road tripping for this one. It's the Philadelphia Phillies. Very similar boat to us, 8 games over, and we are taking on the Phillies, and we are 3-8 in our last 11 games. It hasn't been pretty. I did mention earlier that August hasn't been kind to us. And here are the AL East standings now. And we had a good 6 games lead over Baltimore at the end of April. They took off. Our ships have been sinking. It's not good, guys. Now you look, Tampa Bay and New York are right there. And these are guys we had plenty of lead, plenty lead over. And just August, we are collapsing. Can we right the ship against Andrew Painter and the Philadelphia Phillies? We're going to have to. Painter, a pretty good pitcher. He was a top prospect for a while. Finally, after injury and waiting, has got his chance. He's been pretty good. But that pitch, not good. Alex Bregman, he disagrees. He think that pitch was awesome. Not great. Just not great in the grand scheme of things. But I'll take it. Home run Red Sox. We start things off with Bregman's 20th round tripper of the year. And Bregman just sheath that boy. Drop it. 1-0 Sox. Roman Anthony batting in the 4th spot. Still keeping the good times rolling as he has won 104 the other way. Again, I will continue to praise the exit velocity, quality of contact, just how good he is at squaring up baseballs and hitting them very hard. It pleases me. Jordan Walker, that did not please me too much. He goes down swinging, and that will do it for the inning. Get 2 big hits. One goes over the fence. We got Drew Thorpe again, who has settled down. A lot of these tough numbers, and it's like, oh shit, this guy sucks. Real tough first half with Kansas City. Since he's been with us, he's been a lot better than the overall stats show, and we've seen it. 8 strikeouts in his Red Sox debut against the Padres. Picks one up here against Trey Turner. Then picks one here up against Johan Rojas. So 2 strikeouts on nasty breaking pitches outside the zone. Then Bryce Harper, he comes up to the dish, won't strike out, but will ground out. Clean first inning for Drew Thorpe. 1, 2, 3 go the Philadelphia Phillies. Exactly what we needed to do after, really putting up a strong effort in the beginning of the game. Bregman again launches this one. See ya by 420 feet. First one may be a little bit of a cheapie. Not a cheapie, but I don't think was hit far enough for him to really gloat like this. But Bregman, 2 for 2 with 2 bombs. Another hanging breaking ball that is cranked out of here. And Bregman turns and burns and see you later baseball. Bye. See ya. Thanks for playing. Appreciate you coming. Roman Anthony in the 3rd. He will swing on and miss, and that will do it. But 2 runs this time off the bat of Alex Bregman. 3 RBI, 2 home runs already for his day. We're not even a third of the way there yet. Former friend Danny Jansen is going to stroke this one into left field and gets himself on to first base. I promise, my only Danny Jansen cranking it joke. Nope, that's not him. Wrong Toronto Blue Jays catcher. I apologize, Danny Jansen. That's Reese McGuire. I feel like a dummy now. I'm also going to keep that audio in. I record my audio once. Whatever happens, happens. But a good Reese McGuire joke that was unfortunately applied to Danny Jansen. And I was talking in the Angels series of watching all these games be losing. That's why. That shows basically the whole stretch we've played so far. We've played at least one game in each of those series so far. Hasn't done well for us. Johan Rojas does get on to start, and he does have a lot of speed to burn. He's going to elect to use it. And in there, second base, no problemo for Bryce Harper, now working with the runner in scoring position. And he won't quite drive him in, but Christian Campbell, that's a tough play, and bailed out by Rafi Devers, getting off the bag, but then having enough time and wherewithal to make the play still after that. Great play. Can you keep Philadelphia off the board? Not quite. Devers can't get the ground ball from Kyle from Waltham, who puts it through the right side. And that is a base hit for Kyle Schwarber and an RBI. Then Max Muncy. Devers, what a scoop by Scoops. Rafael Devers, a nasty, nasty pick at first base. Kyle Schwarber gets the party started for the Phillies. It's 3-1 Philadelphia. Here's how the starters have done so far. 8 strikeouts already for Andrew Painter. Does have the 5 hits and the 2 mistakes that Bregman has punished him with. But Drew Thorpe has been doing all right. So Danny Jansen, revenge game? I guess. I don't know. Hates us, apparently. And almost was thrown out because Rafael has such a good arm out there in left field, or excuse me, center field. But does get on with a double. Then runners on the corner, no out. And it is Buddy Ford, another auto-generated guy who's made the major leagues. Love seeing these guys, especially as we go further in the franchise and develop the history of our universe a little bit. I love to see that. Personally, I love to see that. Hate this, though. Trey Turner over the head of Marcelo Meyer, and then it kind of hooked me on to Rafaela and hitched him a bit, and they got all the way to the wall. Might have scored the run anyway, but probably could have held Trey Turner at least to second base. And, yeah, it's an RBI triple for one of the fastest men in the game, Trey Turner. And the Phillies are pumped on the field, apparently, pushing everyone around. It's a madhouse. But right over the head of Marcelo Meyer, you see that little hitch on Ceddanne Rafaela. Tough. Then Johan Rojas will ground out Meyer. Real nice play, but that will score the run. And again, that's why that little hitch bothered me, because, hey, probably could have kept Trey Turner off third base, and then this would have been the final out of the inning, and then we would have been a tie game. But now we're losing by 1. That's not great, but it is what it do be. 4-3. As the Phillies bat around a little bit on Drew Thorpe. But again, starts off really, really good, then slows down a bit. Ashton Fuqua, liner, left field. That's going to get down. That's going to be extra bases, and that's probably going to score a run. Nope, we're going to hold up Roman Anthony, I believe, at second base, or third base, excuse me. But now we really need a base hit. Ashton Fuqua, his first career extra base hit, a double. I think I have both of his career hits so far. And then we're asking Christian Campbell to come through, and he cannot. Another strikeout. Nismal Prismat in this time. And it is what it do be. Kyle Schwarber up the middle, gets through Drew Thorpe. Is this going to be his day? 5+ innings with another hit given up. Again, starts off very strong. Strikes out everybody in their mother, but then that second time through, that's when things, his outing goes to die. We're going to bring up Brock Burke with the lefties. Also, Max Muncy has like a 6 contact against lefties, or the only reason we didn't bring in Brock Burke to start the inning, because even though Kyle Schwarber, a lefty, in the game, he actually has really good, a lot better stats against lefties than righties. So we played those numbers. Max Muncy's up. He is going to drop the bunt down. Christian Campbell, underhand flip to Devers, gets Muncy out. Runner moves up to second base. And now Danny Jansen, who's killed us, and there's calling for the intentional walk, and I'm looking it over, and I say, yeah, we're not going to walk. Intentionally walking Danny Jansen in a 1-run game in the 6th inning. We deserve to lose this game, but it works. It works out in our favor. Aiden Miller can't catch up to the Heat inside. Again, we should lose this game because we intentionally walked Danny fucking Jansen. Other way goes Meyer. He will be at second base, standing up as he starts off the 7th inning with a double, trying to tie this ball game up. We can't afford another loss. We really can't. Jaron Duran just to the right side, my friend, and we small ball our way to a run to tie things up at 4 apiece in the 7th inning. Alex Bregman, we're going to keep it tied. Slider, he swings and misses. First 2 at-bats, really good. Following couple at-bats, not as much. And Devin Williams is going to come in as we hold them scoreless in the bottom of the 7th. Here we are in the 8th inning, I believe, as Devin Williams signed away from the Yankees. And things did not go well for Devin Williams. Screwball that Devers puts beautifully right into the part of the field that no one's standing in. And that is going to be a double for him. He is up there. And runner in the scoring position to begin the 8th inning. Then that brings up Roman Anthony. This one inside. This one crushed. Lay it down. Roman Anthony pimps this one. And it is 372 feet later. We have ourselves a Red Sox lead. Look at that. Absolute majestic from Roman Anthony, whose hot season continues here in 2020. What year are we in? 2028? 2027? I don't know. Christian Campbell. Great job. Great job, pal. But Roman Anthony, we get some insurance here. Take the lead off of this 2-run ding-dong. And we have our empire. We're starting to build it. AJ Puck comes in. Different number now with, what's his face, wearing 33, which usually I would change his number, but whatever. I don't think we're going to have AJ Puck for too much longer. We will eventually change his number to 41, I will say that. But wearing 39 for right now and getting the punch out. Jorge Lopez comes in, the righty. His outing did not go well with 2 outs. Jay Duran walks. I show this because it gets spooky.
Now batting.
From here. 2 down, 2 outs, or 2 down and a 2-strike count. Bregman keeps things going. No, that's a runner on first and second. Then Devers. 2 pitches later. Up the middle. This will get through. This will score an insurance run we need. Now I'm very comfortable with Felix Bautista with a 3-run lead with 2 outs. Devers pumps his fist. Then Roman Anthony. Not done. Wants another slider. Left, middle. This one is the crushed one. 453 feet for Roman Anthony. Cannot leave that pit. You're bad? You're bad. Look at this. Boop. Bye. See ya. Pink. Whatever you want to talk about it. Tank. That was absolutely pillaged. 115. Hanging slider. 453 feet later. Oh boy. Then Ashton Fuqua. His first home run in his career. Congratulations. Again, 6 runs, 2 home runs, all with 2 outs. All with 2 outs. Duran gets on. That's Bregman. Gets the hit. Devers the hit. Home run by Anthony. Whoever bats in between him and Fuqua gets on. And then Fuqua the home run. Yeah, it was scary. I think that's Jordan Walker. Either a walk or a single or something. Yeah, craziness. Then we bring Justin Slayton in. 3-2 count. To Buddy Ford. Myers there. Puts it away. That's your ball game. Thanks for playing. See ya next time. Appreciate everything you do for us. We will see you next time. So we do end up winning this one. A score of a lot to a little. Back and forth game, and then just an offensive explosion against some high leverage relievers in the ninth. This is August. Holy shit, this sucks. Well, yeah, a lot of losses. We got in August 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 8 and 18 August. What the fuck? We check on the lineups. Duran, still not really producing the way we thought he would. We saw a nice game from Bregman to get 21 home runs. We saw, obviously, Rafael Devers continue to do his thing. Tristan Casas officially back. He came back for these last 4 games and has picked right back up. 4 hits in 4 games, a couple of walks as well. So excited to bring this bat back into the lineup because it surely needs it. Ashton Fuqua, we called up. We needed some offense, and he's been providing that at least a little bit. Not slugging a whole bunch, only has 3 base hits of his 13 hits, but he's just getting on base. He's getting hits. He's not striking out a whole bunch. He's just hitting the baseball, which is exactly what we thought he could do. Roman Anthony slumping in his last 10 games, but after that explosion in Philadelphia, he's only hit 146 over that time with no home runs, no extra base hits, just 6 hits total. But he's arrived. This is the Roman Anthony we're thinking we're getting. Thought we turned a corner with Christian Campbell. It seems to have kind of fallen back down to 700 OPS, under 700 OPS guy. Marcelo Meyer, again, continue doing decent stuff, but just not hitting the ball as well as we thought we would get out of him in 2026. We'd love to see these numbers climb closer to these numbers, just not there even a little bit, walking a little bit more, but definitely striking out more. Doesn't really have that run driving in threat that we've seen from him, but that could also, you got like Christian Campbell who's constantly getting out in front of him. Maybe that's more of a lineup thing. And Son Rafael, for some reason, 20 home runs. Jordan Walker, we threw him in the starting lineup for that time that what's his face? Tristan Casas was out. We saw some power, but really weren't seeing a lot of maybe 774 OPS. Maybe I can't look too far into that. But yeah, Connor Wong has struggled. You see a lot of things going down. Definitely his last year with us, as we're kind of in the Ashton Fuqua era already. And then obviously we are in call-up territory. But if you look at the pitching rotation, really, you're still not getting the best out of Bayo that you thought you were. We thought we were getting more season like this. We ended up getting these seasons. I don't know. It was just a step back year for Bayo. Gavin Stone has been up. He's been down, but has settled into a 3-something ERA guy, and his last 56 innings have been great. Drew Thorpe, since we've gotten him his last 10 games, he's been excellent. He has been excellent since becoming a Boston Red Sox, which we love to see from that. And then Norihashi, rookie, he's going to have his ups, he's going to have his downs, but for the most part, it's been solid. And if this is what you're getting from your 5 starter, that's super solid. Now, Connolly Early had his 10 starts with us. He's back up with the Big League Ball Club. What has been the issue? And I think it's been the bullpen the last couple of games. Looking at these, Brock Burke, his last 8 innings haven't been great. Michael Kopech, he's had some blow-ups here against the Angels, Milwaukee. And then this 3 1/3 innings against St. Louis, which was interesting. Then came back the next day. So basically 3 2/3 innings, 5 earned runs, just using him way too much in that capacity. A run given up here by AJ Puck, but obviously not too terrible. And then Felix Bautista, tough outing here against Philadelphia, where he gave 2 home runs, then gave up a home run against Chicago, blow up here against the Angels, blow up here against Milwaukee. So back end of our bullpen, if you look at some of these games, just really haven't been able to hunker it down. Like this game, you had a lead late. I remember that. This is a game, Michael Kopech picking up back-to-back losses for him. These are these close games. Cleveland, a close game you couldn't figure out. Philadelphia, this is that Bautista blow-up. A 1-0 loss to Philadelphia after, kicking their ass. You have these close losses to Chicago. You have this close loss to the Angels where the bullpen again picks up the loss. Kind of get your doors blown off by Milwaukee here, but Bautista, he picks up the loss here. So 2 more bullpen losses prior to that. So I don't know what needs to be going, but now we kind of looked at this month as just being Baltimore. Now we have, teams like the Yankees, only 2 games behind us. Tampa Bay, 2 games behind us. Obviously, we're not catching up to Baltimore anymore, so those series don't matter. But now that's 7 games where you're looking at, maybe that's a loss. We do have the White Sox. We do have the Athletics. We do have Toronto, who aren't good. We will see. So really, what went from these 2 Baltimore series kind of turns to this Yankees and Tampa Bay series. We also got to look at the standings right now. Out of the wild card, the Rangers, the Twins, and the Royals all jumped us. Let's see who they have on their docket here. The Royals, they have Baltimore. They have Detroit and Chicago, who aren't good. Minnesota, so that's going to be an interesting match. Cleveland and Minnesota again. So those 2 teams are kind of going to have to beat up on each other. Philadelphia and the Mets are on Minnesota's watch, so it could be a little bit interesting for Minnesota. But then you also have the Rangers, who have Seattle, a good team. Pittsburgh, our caliber apparently. Tampa Bay kind of in the mix there. Chicago, who we've faced, who are good, and then 2 bad teams to even it out. Go back to the Yankees, who are also right by us. Or Tampa Bay first. They have the Dodgers, ouch. Texas twice, ouch. They have Toronto, but then they have Baltimore, us, and then Minnesota. A really tough stretch for Tampa Bay. But if they get hot, who knows? San Francisco, okay. Cubs, good. Us. Detroit, not that great. Baltimore really good, but then Toronto twice. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. We will see you next time for more Red Sox franchise here in Just Barely 33 Games. I'm signing out. We'll see you